This podcast episode is brought to you by Audible.com. To receive a free book of your choice, please visit www.audibletrial.com/mysticaccess. Enjoy. Welcome to the Mystic Access Podcast, where the magic is in learning. Welcome to the Mystic Access Podcast, where the magic is in learning.
This podcast can only be titled one thing. Hello, Ivee.
Absolutely. We have two different Ivee products to share with you guys today.
My name is Chris.
I'm Kim.
Kim has the Ivee Flex.
Yes, I do.
And this is a talking clock radio. It has an FM radio, correct?
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about the Ivee Flex.
Well, the Ivee Flex is a clock radio, as you mentioned. It offers 6 different alarm sounds, 6 different sleep sounds, and it's voice activated, which is quite cool. You can get your indoor temperature with it. You can get your date, your time. There's a timer function available. There is, as you said, an FM radio, although mine is not that wonderful as far as what it picks up. I can sort of get my classical station in Charlotte, or near Charlotte, but not very well. And that's one of the things where the accessibility is not that great, because once you turn on the radio, the only way to turn it off is by pressing the button on top of the unit. So that's a bit sad. And there are also a few accessibility issues in setting, for instance, the date, because that is done with buttons on either side of the display, which one can scroll through in order to set the day, month, year. There are no voice commands or TTS that says where one is scrolling through, shares that information verbally. That's rather disappointing from an accessibility standpoint. One of the perks that I love about my Ivee, she has this beautiful British female voice that is fantastic. And I assume it's human narration because it is that good. If it's not human narration, it's a stunning text-to-speech voice that I can't find anywhere else. I've never heard her anywhere else. So in that regard, she's fabulous. I also love the various greetings that she can use in order to talk back to you. So it makes her feel very personalized and very fun to interact with. She's fairly small. She doesn't take up a large footprint at all. She's apparently very modern looking, so I'm not sure if she'll go with your particular decor, but she does apparently look very sleek and very nice. Generally, as far as her speech goes, it's helpful to be like right in front of her in order to make her speak. However, I will try a little experiment here in a second and see if I can get her to speak from my normal location. One of the things I really like about her is if I am coming out of the shower or something and want to know what time it is, then from my bathroom door I can usually say hello Ivee, which is her standard greeting, or which is her way of communicating. Once you say hello Ivee, then she's able to recognize future commands that you may make of her. And sometimes I can get her to do that from my bathroom door, depending on how I do it. It helps to speak to her in a very firm, clear voice. I've learned that if I can be firm but conversational, she tends to respond better. What else?
I think that's it as far as description would go.
Yeah, she has some switches on the back that toggle on and off various things. I think one toggle is Celsius Fahrenheit, one toggle something. Anyway, there are several of them on the back. I'm a little leery to demonstrate that for you guys because one of the issues that I have with Ivee is if I touch her screen in a certain place, it will turn the radio on. And then I have to turn the radio back off, and sometimes that causes some issues in terms of what Ivee does and getting her to respond correctly again. So I'm a little nervous to actually show you all that. However, a little experimentation can help you in finding all that out. I just caution you to be aware that you can turn her radio on and hit other commands on her screen without meaning to.
Because the screen is a touch screen.
I know that when originally setting her up, I did have to have sight assistance in order to originally set things up. The other thing I've noticed is if I do have a power outage, oftentimes she's supposed to keep her date with the battery inserted. However, mine does not. I will first demonstrate that to you. So I'm going to speak to her by giving her a command. Hello, Ivy.
Command, please.
Today's date.
Today is Sunday, November 9th, 2014.
See what I mean?
So you're a time traveler then.
Apparently I am a time traveler. However, hello, Ivy.
Hi.
Time.
The current time is 6:08 p.m.
Her time stayed fine. It's her date that's all screwed up. So I am a time traveler, but my time is correct. My date is not.
But you can set the time with your voice.
You can say, hello, Ivy.
Command, please.
Settings.
Would you like to set time, date, voice, alarm greeting, or greeting music?
Cancel. You do have those options. These are the things you can set during the course of settings. However, I'll show you what happens. Hello, Ivy.
Command, please.
Settings.
Would you like to set time, date, voice, alarm greeting, or greeting music?
Date. See what I mean?
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. So she has me a screen there where I can set the date, but you can't actually do it with voice commands, which is a bit unfortunate. However, there are other cool things in there. Hello, Ivy. Oh, see, sometimes she doesn't want to answer either. Hello, Ivy. Like now, for instance. So I'm moving closer to her. Hello, Ivy. Oh, that's fun.
You may have to cancel it somehow.
Yeah, cancel. Maybe. Maybe that was not a good demonstration. Hello, Ivy. See? Hello, Ivy.
Hi.
Settings.
Would you like to set time, date, voice, alarm greeting, or greeting music?
Greeting music.
I couldn't hear you. Would you like to set time, date, voice, alarm greeting, or greeting music?
Greeting music.
Greeting music is now off.
So see, there are various things you can do there. You can turn the greeting music on and off. I'm trying to remember if that deals directly with alarms or what that does. Some of this stuff seems a little ambiguous when you're actually going through the menu system. So I do apologize because I haven't played with a lot of this stuff in quite a while. Let me turn that back on before I forget to. Hello, Ivy.
Yes?
Turn on greeting music.
I couldn't understand you.
Greeting music on. Great. I did exactly what I didn't want to do because now she's turned on the radio. So as you see, sometimes she doesn't understand what you're saying to her. So,
Command, please.
settings.
Would you like to set time, date, voice, alarm greeting, or greeting music?
Greeting music.
I couldn't hear you. Would you like to set time,
This happens a lot.
voice,
She can be rather
alarm
maddening.
greeting, or greeting music?
Greeting music.
I couldn't hear you. Would
I'm
you like
sitting
to
right
set
in front of
time,
her, too.
Date, voice,
I'm about a foot away
alarm
from her.
greeting, or greeting music?
Greeting music.
Greeting music is now on.
Okay. Oh, and the radio's back on. That's nice. Hello, Ivy.
Hi.
Turn off radio. That didn't work. Hello, Ivy.
Hi.
Timer.
Please tell me the length of the time you would like to set the timer for. For example, you can say 1 hour and 20 minutes. Timer has a 10-hour maximum.
3 minutes.
Would you like the timer to play an alarm sound or the radio?
Alarm sound.
4. Say, sound 1. 4. Say, sound 2. 4. Say, sound 3. 4. Say, sound 4. 4.
Sound 5.
Timer will play. Timer is set for 46 minutes.
Now, did I say 46 minutes? No. I said 3 minutes. If you say anything to her under, 10 minutes, for instance, I've found that I have never gotten her to work correctly as far as what time she sets. That does give you a demonstration, however, of the alarm sounds that Ivee has available. And they're the same alarm sounds on Chris's model, I do believe. We can double check that, but I'm almost positive we have the same alarm sounds. I'm going to go ahead and turn the timer off because we're not going to be here for 46 minutes. So I apologize for the sloppiness of the demonstration, but sometimes Ivee is not real cooperative. She also has moments occasionally where she does speak at random. You can say something that has nothing to do with her greeting or her, what do you call that? Her
Trigger
hello Ivee
phrase.
sound.
Trigger phrase.
Yeah, her trigger phrase. Thank you. It has something that has nothing to do with her trigger phrase, and she'll still respond. So that's quite hilarious. I had someone here doing some work for me a month or so ago, and he walked into the room, we were having a conversation, and Ivee came on, and he was really freaked out. It's like, what was that? Oh, it's my little clock radio over here. That one of the things going to perks that I do really like about her, besides her beautiful voice, that I think is fantastic, and her various greetings, is those lovely alarm sounds. Some of them I really, really like. For instance, the one I was going to attempt to play for you, because it does play like a whole little song as you go through the sound, as long as you don't turn it off. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to demonstrate that. However, they are very cool. It'll play you a whole song, and that one that I set it for, Sound 5, is my personal favorite. It's very much a little Spanish guitar, flamenco, fun sound. So, I'm going to turn her timer off, I hope. Hello, Ivee.
Command, please.
Timer off.
Alarm 1 is off. Alarm 2 is off.
I don't know if that actually turned off the timer. Perhaps it did, because it says it turned off alarm 1 and alarm 2. You do have 2 alarms with this. That's pretty cool. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. I'm going to try to turn this timer off one more time. Hello, Ivee.
Command, please.
Turn off timer.
Timer has been stopped.
Okay. You have to learn the various commands, and even after almost, a year?
A year, yeah.
Almost a year of having Ivee, I still mix up the commands. So, especially when it's like 5 o'clock in the morning and you're trying to stop your alarm, it can be kind of hard to remember all those various commands. So, let me try to set an alarm for you, and let's see if this works. Hello, Ivee.
Command, please.
Set alarm 1.
Please tell me the time you would like alarm 1 to sound. For example, 7:30 a.m.
6.
I couldn't understand you. Please tell me the time you would like alarm 1 to sound.
6:45 p.m.
Alarm 1 is set for 6:45 p.m.
It isn't 6:45 yet, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. So I'm going to see what alarm sound I have set for alarm 1. So I think I say, hello, Ivee.
How can I help you?
Alarm sounds.
Please choose alarm 1 or alarm 2.
Alarm 1.
Would you like alarm 1 to play an alarm sound or the radio?
Alarm sound.
4.
And we've already heard these previously.
Say, sound 1. 4.
Very pretty. The sound quality is
Say,
beautiful.
Sound 2. 4.
She does have a really nice speaker.
Say, sound 3.
While
4.
she's talking, she can't hear me. Something to keep
Say,
in mind.
Sound 4. 4.
That's the one I'm going to use.
Say, sound 5. 4. Say, sound 6.
Sound 5.
Alarm 1 will play.
Beautiful. Okay. So, hello, Ivee.
Command, please.
Time.
The current time is 6:18 p.m.
Okay. So, probably around the time we're ending this podcast, Ivee's alarm should go off. We'll see what actually happens there. I may have set her a little long, but hopefully we'll have time for you to hear her and I can show you how to end the alarms. But let me try one more quick experiment with her. We're going to try one final experiment because I just want to see if it'll work for you guys. I'm going to my bathroom door. I'm standing in my bathroom door. You can probably hear the echo. Hello, Ivy. Of course, tonight she won't do it. Hello, Ivy. Hello, Ivy.
Command, please.
Time.
I couldn't understand you.
Time.
I couldn't understand you.
Time.
The current time is 6:19 p.m.
So yes, in a roundabout way, she works. If you don't mind being patient with her and saying things over and over and over again. So I'm going back in here because I want to demonstrate one more thing quickly before I turn it over to Chris. This is probably my favorite feature of Ivy, and this is her sleep sound feature. So I'm gonna show you these beautiful sleep sounds. She has 6, just as she has 6 alarms, she also has 6 sleep sounds from which to choose. Hello, Ivy.
Hi.
Set sleep sound.
Please tell me the name of the sleep sound you would like me to play. To hear your options, say help.
Help.
To listen to, say sound 1. To listen to, say sound 2. To listen to, say sound 3. To listen to, say sound 4. To listen to, say sound 5. To listen to, say sound 6. Please tell me the name of the sleep sound you would like me to play. To hear your options, say help.
Cancel. So I just wanted you to hear some of the beautiful sleep sounds she's got. She's got ocean. She's got some singing bowls. She's got another one that sounds like an ocean with maybe a didgeridoo in the background. And just some really beautiful sounds. Now, my favorite part about Ivy's sleep sounds is when you set them to play for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it may be that you want it to play for, they don't just fade out. They actually end. It's like there's a coda or something on the end that it has programmed in that it moves to, because they actually seem to have endings, especially, with the songs particularly, seem to have some sort of ending programmed in, and it moves to that ending. It's so classy. I really, really love it. That, in my opinion, almost makes up for all of Ivy's flaws. But I'm a musician, so I care about stuff like that. But it's fun. I really love that. I really love her various sounds and her beautiful voice and how she interacts so nicely and pleasantly. Even when she doesn't understand, it's hard for me to get too frustrated with her because she does have such a nice voice, nice TTS, and so many nice ways to interact. So that's not everything that Ivy can do, but that's all the stuff that I'm willing to demonstrate without potentially putting myself in a precarious position with Ivy. And Ivy, we'll share this, I'm sure, at some point in the podcast, but Ivy is not Ivy like Ivy, a woman's name is generally spelled. It's Ivy, I-V-E-E. So that's just something else to keep in mind. It doesn't matter in the great scheme of things unless you're looking her up, but just something you guys will want to know as we proceed here.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the folks at audible.com for sponsoring this podcast.
We love Audible, yay!
We do. I have a bunch of books. I've been an Audible user since probably 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, you can use things such as your Android device, your iPhone. They have apps for that. They're accessible. You can listen to them on the book ports, the book sense, the streams, your assistive technology. Book players will also play Audible. But I'm currently reading a series by Marcia Clark. She is the
Yes, that Marsha Clark.
yes,
For those
that
of you
Marcia
old enough
Clark,
to
the
just say, really?
the O.J. Simpson prosecutor, Marcia Clark, and she does a series um, about a prosecutor called Rachel Knight who gets herself into all kinds of trouble, and it's really really cool. Um, and that's what I'm currently reading right now.
I love the
Um,
fact that Audible's got such a huge variety of stuff to choose from. It's incredible the amounts of books and genres that we can choose. I'm a big fan of the British shows and British dramas, and I am in the process of reading the 3 books by Jennifer Worth, whose memoirs inspired the British TV drama called The Midwife, which is really fascinating. It's about her work in London in the 1950s in midwifery, and it's really fascinating. I really love the TV series, and I thought it was time to read the books. I particularly love this narrator, how well she does with the books, and so far I'm very, very impressed with what I'm reading. That's what I love about Audible. We got so much to choose from law fiction to nonfiction memoirs. So you can have your pick.
yeah, you can have your pick. You can pick whatever book you would like out of 150,000 some odd books. If you go to www.audibletrial.com/mysticaccess and sign up, you get a free book of your choice. If you choose to stay with Audible, which you probably will, you can just continue on for the monthly fee of 1 credit a month, or if you go to the other membership, you can get 2 credits a month. I personally am on the 2 credit a month because I consume a lot of books. If you decide to cancel, the book is yours to keep just for trying out Audible. So if you don't have an Audible account, again, you can go to www.audibletrial.com/mysticaccess. And again, we'd like to thank Audible for sponsoring this podcast.
Absolutely. And you have 30 days to decide whether or not you want to remain an Audible member. So we hope you'll check it out and see what you think.
Now, I have Ivee Sleek.
It's a big sister to Ivy Flex.
It is. In the last podcast, we kind of hinted about a
We hinted.
podcast that we were going to do, and we were waiting for the product to come. And it just so happens that Ivee Sleek was the product that we were waiting to come. Ivee Sleek you can fit in your hand, and there is a screen on the front. It's not a touch screen. On the top you have 3 buttons. You probably have more than 3 buttons. I think one's volume up and down, and the other button on the other side is arrows up and down, and the big button is the command button. On the back you have a switch, and that turns Ivee's trigger phrase on or off. I had it set to off so that we weren't triggering Ivee constantly by saying, "Hello, Ivee." So I am actually going to turn that on.
Voice trigger is now on.
So now we have Ivee. Now Ivee is a little more than just a clock radio. That's really what it is. So you can say, "Hello, Ivee. Time."
The time is now 6:30 p.m.
"Hello, Ivee. Today's date."
Today the date is Tuesday, January 6th, 2015.
And you can set alarms, set the timer, and you can also do some really interesting things like, "Hello, Ivee. Set volume to 5.
The volume is currently set to 5.
"Hello, Ivee. Set volume to 8.
The volume is currently set to 8.
So I did that totally hands-free. Now, Ivee Sleek is connected to my wireless network. Having said that, the only thing I could not do without sighted assistance was connected to my wireless network. I somehow turned my guest network on. This is how I got around it to begin with before I actually got sighted assistance. I turned my guest network on, set security to nothing, and connected Ivee to the guest network by trial and error. Of course, that's something you don't want to do because you don't want your neighbors to be hopping on your network or what have
Kids,
you.
don't try this at home.
But I decided to try it, and when I was playing with Ivee, I turned it off. Or when I wasn't playing with Ivee, I turned it off, and when I was playing with Ivee, I went ahead and turned it on. I spoke with a representative at Ivee about making that procedure accessible, and they were very, very willing to make it accessible. I even gave them the idea. They thought that you had to speak your key in and things like that, and they thought that would be pretty difficult to do. So I said, you really don't need to speak your key. You need to, when the list of networks comes up, you need to speak those lists of networks when you're arrowing. And then when you're entering your key, you need to speak the characters that you land on when they're entering. And he says, oh, that's a great idea. So I left him with that knowledge, and they said that they would definitely look into something like that. So because I'm connected to a network, I can say something like, hello, Ivee. What is the temperature in Orlando?
Currently in Orlando, Florida, it is 69 degrees Fahrenheit and clear.
Oh, I wish I
didn't want
was
to know
there.
that.
Hello, Ivee. What is the temperature in Anchorage, Alaska?
Currently in Anchorage, Alaska, it is 7 degrees Fahrenheit and clear.
Oh, good. That's better
You can
than
even,
me.
yeah, right. He can even do something like Tokyo.
Hello, Ivee. What is the temperature in Tokyo?
Currently in Tokyo, Japan, it is 41 degrees Fahrenheit and mostly cloudy.
Must be nice.
But not only can you do that, you can say, hello, Ivee. What time is it in Honolulu?
It is now 1:34 p.m. in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Hello, Ivee. What is the date in Melbourne, Australia? Or not?
Today in Melbourne, the date is Wednesday, January 7th, 2015.
And there we
Oh.
go.
She can do that.
She can do that. It took her a little bit of time to come back with it, but hey, she came back with
She was searching. Melbourne's like 13 or so hours ahead of us. So she was searching.
But then you can do some cute, fun little things like, hello, Ivee. How old are you?
I am 7 days, 1 hour, 14 minutes old.
Hello, Ivee. When is your birthday?
My birthday is November 30th, which makes me a Sagittarius.
Hello, Ivee. Tell me something funny.
The North Face Clothing Company once sued the South Butt Clothing Company.
Okay. That was a groaner. That wasn't really funny, but
Yeah, that's sort of funny.
It's cute.
She also has scary and interesting. We're not going to do scary because scary really is disturbing.
It kind of is. But you could say, hello, Ivee. Tell me the stock price for Amazon.com.
The time is now 6:35 p.m.
Oh,
She
that
misunderstood you.
Yep, she did. So let's try it again. Hello, Ivee. Tell me the stock price for Amazon.com.
The time is now 6:36 p.m.
I know what it is. Hello, Ivee. What is the stock price for Amazon.com?
Amazon.com is trading at $295.29, down $6.90 or minus 2.3% for the day.
So you have a little stock machine there too. Some other features that Ivee... Don't listen to me.
She knows she's being talked about. Ooh.
Some of the other features that she has is the ability to connect to your Nest thermostat. So you can control your Nest thermostat with voice. You can say set the temperature to whatever you want it to set to, and it will go out and it will set the temperature using your Nest thermostat. It will also connect to the Iris from Lowell's, which is really kind of cool because you can ask it things. I was watching some YouTube videos. I don't have any of this equipment yet, and I'm kind of dying to get some of it. But you can ask it, say who's home, and it'll tell you who's home. You can say, turn off Kim's light, and it will come back and say, okay, I've turned off Kim's light. So it can do lights. You can set your security system. You can't disarm the security system. It won't let you. You can lock the back door or your deadbolt, and it'll come back and it'll actually say, I have locked the deadbolt, the back door deadbolt, which is really cool. So Ivee can be... We're going to get the time.
The time is now 6:38 p.m.
So Ivee can really be...
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
This clock can really be the speech access input and output, actually, to a lot of mainstream devices like the Philips Hues, for example. It's another one I saw a video of. You can say, turn the Philips Hues light red, because these Hues lights, you can actually turn them different colors. So you can say, turn it red, and it'll come back and it'll say, the Philips Hues light is now red. So it can actually interface with SmartThings, the Wemo, and a few other different things. I have this clock, and I have to say that again. I have to think about it now, not to call it by its name. I connected the clock to my Ivee account, and it's the website for the company is helloivee.com.
Today the date is Tuesday, January 6th, 2015.
You got the date that time.
I did. So it's HELLOIVEE.com, and you can get more information. You can see what she supports, what she will support in the future.
Yeah, and aren't they, I believe, and if I'm incorrect about this, if this is incorrect, please someone clue me in, but I believe the Sleek is the one that's getting primary, help me out here, what's the word I'm looking for?
Love?
Love.
Primary love from the
primary
company?
love.
Yeah. So, you can do, hello, Ivee. System update.
Checking for updates. My system is up to date.
So there you go. You can even check for updates and see if it... actually, as soon as I connected it and plugged it in, and it was on a wireless network, it actually went and downloaded the update, and it was totally accessible. The other thing I was going to mention is when I went to the website, you can create an account, and you link your Ivee to your account. So your Ivee is linked to your account, and in order to do that, it says, when you go to the website, it says, tell Ivee a specific command. I'm not going to do it so that it doesn't disconnect from my account. And it says on the website, please type in the 2 words. So Ivee, I didn't think this was going to be accessible, but it read the 2 words to me, which I thought was very cool. So if it wasn't for needing sighted assistance to connect to the internet or the network, then I would say this is totally speech friendly. Oh, yes. You can even connect it to a Fitbit.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm actually anxious to see how that one works.
I'm interested to see what you can ask Ivee or what Ivee's going to tell you with your Fitbit. So you can actually connect it to the Fitbit.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of neat.
Let's talk price briefly
Mhm.
while we're on this subject. I believe Ivy Flex is about $60, give or take a bit, depending on what kind of promotions or discounts you might find with her.
And Ivy Sleek is the big sister of Ivy Flex. What is it? Nope, too late.
The time is now 6:42 p.m.
I was
We're
going
almost
to
ready
ask.
for Ivy Flex's alarm to go off.
Yeah, I was going to. I was going to ask it something really quickly if I could have, but I didn't make it in there. But that's okay. The clock is around $200. So when I got mine, I got a Black Friday deal and I got 25% off, which is quite a good amount of.
Right, when it's $200, that is a very nice experience.
Yes. So it was like $150, and I think it's worth it, especially if you get some of this other stuff. And
Right, yeah, if you have a whole house full of stuff that you want to automate through her, then you can do that.
Exactly.
Mine's a little more simple in what you can do with her, but what she does,
She does well.
and yeah, in spite of my rather wonky demonstration, she generally does quite well. Of course, she doesn't want to be cooperative for our demonstration, but that's just typical. Although I do have lots of times when she doesn't always understand me. Generally speaking, I can more or less make her understand what it is that I'm asking and what I want to do and accomplish. Mine does also have an indoor temperature. I don't find it very accurate. Generally, it's about 5 degrees off at least. So, not quite sure what's up with that, but...
Hello, Ivy. What is the indoor temperature?
Sorry, I'm having trouble with my temperature sensor.
So at least mine gives me a temperature.
Yours gives you a
his is
temperature.
not.
I believe mine is trying to connect to a Nest
Mm.
and get the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't have a temperature. It has never given me a temperature, so if it's supposed to have one, mine doesn't.
Right.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, we've both been quite happy with our little devices. As I said, my favorite features would be the timer, the alarms, and the sleep sounds. Sleep sounds, hands down, my favorite. And as you noticed, his has an American accent, and mine has a British accent.
And thanks to you,
Yes, you're welcome.
mine is NeoSpeech Julie.
Yes, I recognized her right away when I heard her because I used NeoSpeech Julie quite a bit and knew her right away. However, I have no idea who mine is, if she's a TTS or
I doubt yours is a TTS.
I really doubt it too.
Mine has to say more than yours, so mine absolutely is a TTS.
Oh, yes.
It's NeoSpeech Julie.
Yep.
But yours, I believe, is human recorded speech, kind of like the stream or the bookport. You know, when they do their prompts in human narration, that's what I think yours is.
Yeah. We're just waiting for my alarm to go off now. It should go off any second, I hope.
Hello, Ivy. What time is it?
The time is now 6:46 p.m.
Hello,
Yeah.
Ivy. Set my zip code to 95616.
Okay, I have set your location to 95616.
Hello, Ivy. What is the weather?
Currently in Davis, California, it is 63 degrees Fahrenheit and clear.
He just wishes he was in California. That's what it is.
Because I set Ivy's zip code to 95616, it thinks and we'll give you reference points from 95616. For example, hello, Ivy. What time is it?
The time is now 6:46 p.m.
Oh, well, that didn't quite work. I thought it would have changed the time zone, but it did not.
It did not. Now, as you can hear, my Ivy Flex alarm is going off. And I just want you to hear this because it's fun. If I didn't just turn it off by mistake.
I
somehow
believe you did.
Oh, no, I did not.
Oh, okay.
Do, 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 do. This is usually my morning alarm. So I'm just gonna have her play for you for just a second while we talk here, but you can see what happens every few seconds. She plays some music. If you want to turn it off during the course of the music, you have these breaks, and you can speak to her during the course of the breaks. So she's still going. We're almost done with the song. There's like two more little sections of song, and then you're gonna hear her start repeating the thing, the piece. So I quite enjoy this. And there's the end, and now she's gonna start the piece over again. Alarm off.
And
Voila.
It shut off.
All done. So I'm going to, before I shoot myself in the foot and have her alarm go off again this time tomorrow, I'm going to say, hello, Ivy. Maybe not. Hello, Ivy.
Yes.
Turn alarm 1 off.
Alarm 1 is off. Alarm 2 is off.
And there we go.
Hello, Ivy. Set zip code to 14223.
Okay, I have set your location to 14223.
And now it's back home.
They're fun. They're interesting. They provide really practical, helpful information, and they're voice activated, and they sound really good. The speakers on both of ours we've both been quite impressed with the sound quality of them as well. So this is just a demonstration of our products. And again, if you want to go to their website, it is HELLOIVEE.com. Cancel.
Time is 6:48 p.m.
See what I mean? She has a mind of her own,
Well,
but she's fun.
If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can contact us.
Yes.
I think we need to end this before the two Ivies decide they want to fight each other or something.
I know. We're going to have a fight, and they're going to pull hair, and it's not going to be fun.
So, our contact information follows. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
The preceding podcast is a presentation of Mystic Access, where the magic is in learning. To contact us, please visit www.mysticaccess.com. Call us 716-543-3323 and press 2 to reach our Mystic Access podcast comment line. Email us at show@mysticaccesspodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/mysticaccess. Would you like to spread the word about our podcasts? Please tell your friends and colleagues to visit us at www.mysticaccesspodcast.com. If you enjoy what you hear on our podcasts, feel free to leave us an iTunes rating and review. We certainly appreciate those. Also, you may feel free to use our podcasts in your own RSS feed. Just be sure that all of our contact information is left intact. Thanks for spreading the word, and thanks for listening. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode.